Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to our Thursday edition of What's for Lunch. I'm your host, Larry Hers. And today, in studio, I have Brad and Kay from Dos Abuelas. Welcome.
What's up?
We're having a little technical difficulties. You got it? All right, good. Very excited. I've been to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican food is unbelievable, and I think it's really not represented well, like in Colorado. Are you the only people doing Puerto Rican food in Colorado?
There's probably like I'd say 4 or 5. But
Is there anybody who have brick and mortar?
In Colorado Springs, actually.
In
You have
Colorado
to go to Colorado Springs to get
yeah,
Puerto
but in
Rican
Denver,
food.
no, not yet.
No?
I will soon.
But you're coming soon.
Yes,
All right, who's going to give me history?
I will. So Dos Abuelas are my grandmothers, and they taught me how to cook.
Okay.
So I had said, you know what? Let me put something together from what they taught me. I lived in New York, from
In the Bronx.
You know what I mean? And I moved to Philly, and I worked for Jose Garces, and I did a couple of things, but I was tired of the East Coast. So I looked up, West Coast, and chose Colorado. When I got here, I realized that there was a big lack of Caribbean food. So I took my culinary experience, my grandma's experience, I bought a food truck, and I wanted to give, Colorado a little flavor, So opened up Dos Abuelas.
How would you describe your food? What is it Puerto Rican or is it Caribbean?
So it's
same
Puerto
thing.
It's Puerto Rican, it's criolla, so it's very ancestral. So it goes back, from Africa, Spain, it's all put together, the indigenous, and you just, like Mofongo is really part of like true indigenous ancestors, like my grandma's great parents like that. So
Okay. So when you moved here, did you work anywhere or did you go right into the food truck?
when I moved here, I did work at an Indian restaurant in Broomfield, and I learned how to make naan off of clay, stove, which was amazing. But just did that for a month, and then went on Craigslist, and I found a food truck, and then started from there.
How much did you pay for that food truck?
That food truck was like rental.
Okay.
So, I just want to get a taste of it, and I saw the response from the people. So then I bought my first truck, which was like this little post office truck that only fits like one person. But that was like 14.
And what year was that?
That was 2017.
And then when did you get this new, bigger one?
The big bad mama, I got her a few months ago with Bradley.
Okay, so talk about your relationship. How did this happen and what is this?
Yeah, so we actually met through some mutual friends,
Yes.
and I had just come off of a Worst Cooks in America cooking show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I had no culinary experience whatsoever,
Yeah.
and then I had learned through like this boot camp on Food Network how to cook, right? So then I kind of gained some confidence, started cooking on my own. And she had pulled up at a party that we were at, a mutual friend's birthday party, and she was like, "Oh, I'm a chef." She chefed it up for us, and I was like, "Oh, I love the food." So from there, it's just the history wrote itself, honestly. She had done a few pop-ups where she was doing Dos Abuelas. I had joined her as her, sous chef at the time.
Yes.
And I just loved the food. And since then, I was like, this is something that's definitely worth like pursuing.
Yeah.
So I just spent some time working, saved up some money to be able to partner with Chef, and we just took off.
And when was this? When did you guys officially?
About a year and a half ago is when we met, and then I
April.
came to her in March.
Actually, March, yeah.
March of this year, and I was
Okay,
like,
so
Chef,
new.
I'm ready to partner with you and take Dos Abuelas to a nicer, bigger truck, whatever the case may be. Just be able to really represent her grandmas and her cooking. And we've partnered since then, and it's been great.
Are the grandmas still around?
No, they're not.
Either one.
We're watching right now, though.
Okay.
They was.
Yeah, my grandmother taught me how to make food too.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we really like to tap into is the abuelas. Like her grandma's like instilled in her the cooking.
Yeah.
You're in the kitchen with them, you see what they're doing, and she takes that with her culinary expertise and kind of just elevates it to the next level.
Well, what was your background? You were never in the restaurant business?
No, well, my grandma was actually a chef.
Okay.
And so my grandma was actually Korean. So Chef calls me the rice master because I tapped into that ancestry. You know what I'm saying? It's there. You see it happen all the time when you're a kid. You would watch. I mean, for me, I was lucky enough to be fed. But you tap into it, and then you just
Yeah.
kind of like start cooking, and then you
Like
that's what
But
that's how
food
Abuelas
truck is a whole nother world in itself.
For sure.
I mean, the driving it around, the fixing
my
it all the
God.
time.
Oh,
Driving
yeah.
around, the people in Colorado can't drive. I don't know what's up with that.
That's
They just
that's
come
definitely
right in front of me,
true.
I'm like, hi.
And then we get to the place, all the stuff is
Yeah,
everywhere in
everything.
the truck. We're just
Like,
like, oh,
great.
we gotta clean up, get ready.
But it's still,
But-
it's still great.
Yeah.
I still love it.
All right, let's talk about what you brought me for lunch today.
All
This is
right.
very traditional, right?
So that right there is mofongo. That's your grandma's roots right there. That's basically plantains, green plantains, cut up, fried, smashed into like a bowl, and then we stuff it with whatever meat you like. But we obviously like pernil. It's the
You like
pork.
what?
The pork.
Okay.
It's pork.
In
So
Puerto Rico, we say pernil.
Oh, I had not heard that.
Yeah, which is like roasted pork. So
Okay.
we cook it for like about 7 hours.
yeah, exactly. Then it's nice and it's juicy, tender, crispy on the skin on top. The fat renders. It's delicious. Man.
Similar to carnitas?
Oh man.
A
No.
little bit. Carnitas
Sure.
is more on the like. I mean, carnitas is great, but it's more shredded.
Okay.
Like, we like to put that meat on it.
What's the sauce?
So that's actually bean broth. It's so sofrito beans. So it's like an aroma bean, right? Kind of boiled in broth, kind of allows the flavors to incorporate. We take that. That's actually a touch by Chef K. Most mofongo is just going to be the garlic aioli. But Kay kind of wanted to elevate that flavor a little bit there, and that adds a lot of depth to that dish. Then you throw in the garlic on top with a little bit of oil, some salt, obviously with microgreens, and that right there is.
So there's meat inside here?
There
Yeah,
is
you
meat
got roasted
inside
pork.
of
I'll
there.
be right back. They need
Yeah,
to
you
see
gotta,
that, don't
you gotta
they?
cut inside, cut
Yeah.
into it, you know.
Get in there, puppy.
Like this, she calls me Poppy. Oh, no, that was worth it.
Yeah.
Come on, can you guys see that? Oh man, do you smell that? Oh, you guys can't smell it, sorry. Yeah, that might be my lunch, but this sandwich is looking pretty good.
And that right there is a tripleta. That's a Triple Rican. It's basically the Puerto Rican take on a Cuban,
Okay.
but a little bit.
Little.
Yeah, a
Like
little,
if, yeah, like if you went to Puerto Rico, so that's pretty much like street food. So
Okay.
like in the corners, you'll see like either food trucks or like vendors. So you could do a triple Rican, you could do a quattro, like it just goes up. So it depends on like how many meats you put in. So you can put steak, pork, chicken. So the more protein you put, the more numbers you add
yeah.
to the sandwich.
And that's basically right there. That's ham, Swiss cheese, pork, steak, pickled onions to cut through that meat. It's a good compliment right there. Lettuce, and then our mayo ketchup, which is just basically like an aioli.
I mean, literally in Puerto Rico, it's called mayo ketchup. So it's like mayo ketchup. So you put it together, mayo ketchup. That's
Yeah.
what that is.
There you go.
And then on the side?
Those are tostones.
Fried
Yep.
plantains.
Exactly.
A
Okay.
little garlic, a little hit of salt.
It's kind of like a chip with your sandwich. Those right there, empanadas. Those are a staple. Those are what we call Puerto Rican tacos.
Yeah. We get people that just come to our truck and just say, "Do you have tacos?" And I'm like, "I don't have tacos." But he taught me how to say we got Puerto Rican tacos.
Yeah.
So the empanada is
Yes.
closed. It's a closed taco. I'm like, okay, we could go with that.
Yeah.
So that's like an empanada, and you got a picadillo, which is like beef.
Uh-huh.
And you have like olives and cilantro and red onion chopped up, mixed with ground beef for perfection.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna open this one too then.
Yeah, go for it, Bobby.
Just keep calling me Poppy. We'll be here all day. Most people call me a lot worse things. We won't say on here because I'm not allowed to curse. Now, the big question everybody has is, where can they get this yummy food?
All over Denver. We are posted up in Rhino a lot. We like to go out there, kind of by, kind of Meadowlark. We're in that area. A lot of time off of Larimer. We're in Denver Beer Co.
Do you
We're
have?
there
Can
every
people
other
find your
Friday.
schedule anywhere?
Yeah, Dos
Yeah.
Abuelas. 2 grandmas in Spanish. You look us up online, Instagram, Facebook. We just started the TikTok,
Yeah.
so
Trying.
we're gonna try to start doing those dances or
TikToks.
whatever. Yeah.
We have,
If you do the dances, you'll get views.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm a dancer. So
Yeah?
Big time.
However, but Sundays is consistent. So we're at Meadowlark every Sunday.
Which is
Meadowlark on Latimer,
Larimer and 26?
27, maybe 26.
Yeah, right.
I was just at Redeemer Pizza,
Yeah.
which is right there.
Yeah.
And then every Friday with Denver beer now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's the one down on Platt?
That, yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good one to be
right
in
now,
front
those
of.
are the two consistent.
Yeah.
Like anyone want to go see us Sunday or Friday, we're there. For sure.
Mhm.
All right, do you want to say something to the audience in Spanish? Invite them to your
Gracias, mi
truck?
gente. Ya tú sabes, ven a ver a dos abuelas, a la orden, siempre.
What she said. Pleasure to meet you two. Thanks so much for coming
Thank
in.
you, brother.
Thank you
Much
so
love.
much.
Appreciate
Very
y'all.
excited to try all this. We'll be back for What's for Lunch tomorrow. We have Hawaiian barbecue tomorrow. Let's eat!
Ya tú sabes.
That's the tripleta right there.
I love a Cuban. That's better.